up, guys? It's late night treasure talk with Popo and Cojo. This episode's kind of on a whim, so probably not going to be too many callers tonight, but we just wanted to have a little general discussion. What's up, Cojo? What's going on with you?
Hey, not much, man. It's kind of good to have this kind of radio show, man. We can express our ideas. No cuts. No mutes. This will be cool.
Just me and you tonight, brother. What's going on? What have you been getting into?
Dude, I am like 12 beers into a good plow. And when I say a good plow, I mean a serious, heartfelt, good drinking match with myself. And it feels great. I'm having a great time. How about you?
I'm pretty much with you. I'm a good few in. Kind of excited because looking at the Weather Channel recently, and we might actually be able to get out here this coming week, which is very cool.
Hey, Joe, that's amazing that you say that. You're exactly right. Take a look at the weather. Would you give our Cincinnati friends and our Midwestern friends, could you please just look at the weather for next week and give these treasure hunters, these guys who just love to do this, their forecast for next week, because it looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks great. I haven't seen the number 5 or the number 6 for at least a few months, and that's gonna feel like summer around here.
It really is.
Now,
I love it, man.
what do you think? What do you think about? I know a lot of people say that after a hard rain, you're going to get better signals, but we've had snow on top of the ground for at least a month straight. Do you think all that moisture is going to really pop out some good stuff for us?
Yeah, I do. I do. Do you?
I'm hoping. But my kind of theory is, the ice layer, the snow layer has been sitting on top of there for so long now that, it's kind of penetrating, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I think I do. But, I mean, as our buddy Adventures with Jim always says, respect the site. And take it for that. This brings me to one of my first topics of conversation for tonight, for your listeners to listen to, is just an odd site that I think that you can metal detect right now for all you people in Minnesota. Excuse me, man, I had to cough, man. But for all you people in Minnesota, Wisconsin, northern Michigan, all you people who have snow piling up everywhere, think about this. Go to your local grocery store. And Joe, follow me on this. But go to your local grocery store. And, the snowplow guy comes in there and he plows all the snow into what areas? Where does he push that snow?
Into the parking lot?
Well, yeah, he pushes it around the parking lot, but in general, the snow piles up. If you look at it, if you really take some time to look at it, that snowplow guy is pushing that snow to the green areas in the parking lot. You know how in every parking lot, Kmart, Walmart, whatever you guys have in your city, any of you guys listeners, he's pushing that snow towards the curbsides, and the curbsides often have green strips. By green strips, I mean a row of little trees and a little row of grass. He's pushing all that snow up into there and piling it up so people can park there. Now think about it.
Right.
You're a woman, you're walking out of the store, you're getting into your purse, you're fiddling with your keys, your ring falls off, it drops, you can't find it, there's an inch deep of snow, you can't see it, you don't notice it, whatever the reason is, and then the snowplower comes up, pushes that shit all up. It's either going to be right in that crack at the curb strip, at the curb, or in that green space in a stinking parking lot at Walmart. And I'm just saying, why not go hunt that spot? I mean, look at all the people that go to Walmart in a day.
Right.
I mean,
I see what you're saying, but are you going to be that guy?
Am I?
Goes and detects.
Hell yeah, there's no shame in my game, dude. I'll go there, I'll do it. I mean, why not? I mean, Walmart can only say to me, hey, leave. We don't want you here doing that. In the end,
Right.
they're not going to do
I think it's more like a Kroger. I don't really see many of those green spaces in a Walmart. I see them more like in a smaller grocery chain, like a Kroger's. But I definitely agree with you, because I was thinking about that myself when I was at Kroger's the other day. I was like, I wonder if these the guys who push the carts in, I was like, I wonder if they find rings and shit, because as many people who are getting in and out of their cars in that parking lot, there has to be at least a couple things dropped every single day, I would imagine. And you're right. When it snows, you almost got an opportunity to get that stuff if you were detecting those spots. So, yeah.
Sure, you're exactly right. And think about this. Look at all the new stores that have Starbucks coffees in it, or whatever special coffee you want, or a little cafe. Almost all these carts now have 2 cup holders in them. Okay? So you have a place for 2 cup holders, so you and hubby, you and husband, when you go to, you and wife, when you go and get grocery, you can put your coffee there, your $6 pretentious coffee there. And then you can sit your big-ass cell phone on a little platform on that cart with your grocery list and your keys, and you're walking to your car after you're done, and you got 2 coffees to think about, your list so it doesn't blow across the lot, and your cell phone and your keys, and you're dealing with all this, your ring falls off, you're not even thinking about that. You're just like thinking, oh, I just got to get all this stuff, it's cold outside, let me load up the car, let me load up the grocery. I think there's a real opportunity here in just basic, very plain areas for any treasure hunter to go out there and just kick ass in a Walmart Supercenter parking lot or anything, and look at where the prevailing wind goes. You might find cash.
That's why I was kind of putting an emphasis on curb strips, because that's the same exact thing that happens there. You go to an older neighborhood, you go to a curb strip, and that's where people have been getting in and out of their cars for 100 years, dropping rings, coins, who knows what. It's almost like you're going to get a lot of junk, don't get me wrong, hunting in those kind of spots. But you also do have a good chance of getting things like gold, and if you're in an older area, some silver coins. So I find it, a reputable spot to hunt, for sure.
And as we know with silver coins and coin roll hunting, you could go into Walmart, Kroger, your local grocery store, the Buy Low, the Aldi, you can go into that tomorrow and get change back and it become a silver coin. And if you're not looking, and a lot of people don't, if you're not looking and it gets scooped up and shoveled into the corners of the cracks on that curb, or actually gets scooped up into the green space, the little landscape places in the parking lot, and they put trees and that kind of thing. If it gets scooped up in there and dropped down into the dirt, into the mud, it's possible there. And I'm not saying that it's the best place in the world to look. I'm just saying that for all the people who say there is no hope, there is no more silver, there is no more jewelry, there's nothing left to go out there and hunt, you're absolutely obtuse to say that. It's there. It's there every day. And,
Oh, yeah.
just go out, give it a shot, If they tell you to leave, okay, leave. Fine, whatever. Or just say, I'm not leaving. I'm a customer here. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Fight with them if you want. I don't really care what you do. I'm enormously plowed. And,
Right.
I'm just saying, the fact of it is give it a shot, man. If it's your dream and you love doing it, let it rip, man. It's possible there. Are you following
Well,
me on
that's
this?
the one thing. Oh, yeah. I agree with you totally. I don't ever, if somebody says some place is hunted out or there's nothing left, that's not true. As long as you're in a spot where people are continuously going, yeah, maybe the silver coins are getting slim, but things like gold and jewelry, those things are going to keep on falling.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly, especially with jewelry, Joe. If you get into it like a park, let's say there's a special place in a park for a young man and young woman, and they have bought themselves silver rings, and they go there and they're like, this is our special place. Hey, you know what? We're going to drop these silver rings into the waterfall, or we're going to drop these into the ground here. This is our special place, and we'll come back every year and we'll visit this place. Dude, that shit happens all the time, man. People think that they have a proprietary thing on a place because it's theirs, because it's their special place. It doesn't mean that the treasure hunter can't find that. Now, if you all feel dirty, and I'm saying that to the listeners, if you all feel dirty by taking their stuff, well, then too bad for you. I mean, I'm just saying straight up.
You're in the wrong hobby because the whole hobby is taking other people's things.
Yeah, man, we like stuff people lose, right? We like stuff people leave behind.
Right. Hey, I was kind of thinking about something. Just think about this. I mean, I'm sure other people have thought about this, but, okay, just think of your modern wishing well, fountain, something like that. What if you could find on a map an old wishing well or something like that that's just from, pre-64? It would be a smorgasbord of full silver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
People throwing coins.
What you're talking about is like the whole Goonies experience, man. You're underground, and you find this wishing well in which you can just dive in and collect coins. That is an amazing adventure. Yeah, definitely, man.
I mean, that would be the kind of thing, and I'm sure it's been researched plenty of any area around the country of where those kind of things were. But, I don't know. There's certain places where people throw coins naturally and artificially, places, either man-made fountains or, like a well or whatnot. I mean, it's just limitless to the possibilities of those kind of places.
I've got a question for you, man. And listen, it's not really fair of me to put the host of the show, and that is you, Popo Jojo at Blog Talk Radio. If you want to call into the show, the number is 718-508-9124. It's not fair of me to put you on the hot seat here, but I got to ask you a question. because I think deep down in you there is a serious treasure hunting fantasy. There's something deep down in you that wants a certain situation to happen. And I want to see if that situation, if you'll let that be known tonight. There's no guests supposedly into the show tonight. We may, this is a spontaneous show. I just want to see if that one secret will come out of you tonight.
All right. What is it?
Oh, I don't know. It's your secret.
I mean, I don't understand what your question is.
Well, my question is there any one place or certain occurrence that could happen to you that made you feel like, wow, this is just exactly what I've been looking for my whole life with my metal detector. This is exactly what I've been seeking as a treasure hunter. Is there that one situation that would really rock your world and give you the multiple that you require as a treasure hunter to say, hey, this is cool?
Like what kind of find? You know what? I would have to say the American gold coin. I mean, that would set it off for me for sure. That's on the back burner of my mind all the time, is that American gold, either the 5 or the 20. I recently I was at a New Year's Eve party close to where I live, and talking to this guy all night long about, other things, and I ended up talking to him about metal detecting, and he pulled out a coin out of his wallet, and it was a $5 gold American piece, and I don't know. It's not even that it's worth much. It's worth a little bit. It's not worth a whole lot, but I don't know. That's it for me, finding a gold coin for sure.
So if that happens, does it all end with you? Are you contented, or do you continue?
Oh, no, for sure. There's plenty of things. I mean, it's never ending, as anyone knows. When you find gold, you find a great find, you get a euphoria from it, for sure, for a day or two, a few days, but it loses its magic, and that's what brings you back to the hobby, because you find good things, but they always lose their magic. To me, finding a silver, it's a little bit of a high to me, and like any high, it goes away, and you want the next thing, and that's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's so cool. I agree totally with that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like you get, I don't know, I can't explain it, but you find that silver, you find that gold, and you kind of realize what the 49ers felt like back in the day on a gold rush, that getting that gold fever. It gives you a feeling inside like, wow. But then at the same time, you're like, okay, I found it. Now I need to find something bigger.
Hey, man, let me ask you a question. I think a lot of the users and a lot of the people who listen to the program would like to know a little bit more about you. And so, in this situation here, in this portion of the program, I kind of like to interview you and find out who Popo JoJo 7 is. Is that okay?
Let's hear it.
You're like, No, I really didn't want my radio program going this way. You're saying that, aren't you?
How about
Hey,
you got the floor tonight with the topics, so go ahead, whatever.
I'm just saying, man. For everyone who listens to Joe's show, I want everyone to know first and foremost. At best, I am the co-host of the show. This is Joe's show, and Joe is doing it entirely as a service to people who want to talk about metal. I am just a tag along here to help him get the show going along. I'll have to go back. I have to go back to work here in a couple of months. I won't be as available, but I really want Joe to succeed and that kind of thing. So I want you guys to get to know Joe because he's a very approachable and very cool guy. But anyway,
and I want to let everybody else know this show isn't going to be going on forever. It's pretty much only going to be going on until I can get back out a good portion. But it's something I wanted to do just to be able to talk to fellow teammates, about our daily struggles or what we're not being able to find because we're all stuck inside. But go ahead, Cojo.
all right, well, that's cool. I mean, my question is, and I think a lot of people may want, especially the females, might want to know, Joe, how would you describe yourself, and what kind of music do you like?
What kind of music do you like?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, my name is Joe, 28 years old, live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I own a small internet business. I have a 2-year-old daughter and a fiance. Sorry, ladies. And kind of music I like is ranges from soul to rap, everything except country. Sorry, guys.
All right, so what you're saying is that, very white and that kind of thing, you're totally down with that. And when it comes to metal detecting, you're like Barry digs it, right?
Very what?
Barry digs it low. Anyway.
Very
Let's
what?
just move on. this all goes better when we all have guests to the show. I see a chat message coming across, and it's saying, to explain some extreme sites that you've been to and your craziest site. And the same person is saying the show is going pretty gay. That must be my fault.
I don't know. What's your most extreme site?
Jesus, dude. Cincinnati is an extreme site. I mean, fuck. Get attacked by dogs, hobos, bums. Carry a gun. What the fuck's left? I mean, going to the beach and seeing people playing, going to the beach in South Carolina and seeing people play with Labrador retrievers and, Labradoodles and poodles and dumb shit on the beach. I mean, it's like a goddamn vacation, man. I mean, you can go anywhere there and hunt, and you won't see anyone unless you cross some guy with a still in the fucking jungle there. There's no problem. I mean, fuck here, man.
I feel like we're like in a mini Detroit or something. Like, I see everybody else's videos. It's all happy in the parks and shit. Here, we're finding fucking needles, AK bullets, and fucking drug dealers.
Hey, let me ask you a question, straight up. And this is just the truth. Don't you and I both feel better hunting together in some sketchy areas together, knowing that there's just another guy who can, call 911 or whatever, shoot at a guy? I mean, isn't that where we hunt?
Unfortunately, it is. I was going to ask you, what do you think is a better caliber for metal detecting? 9mm or 45?
I'll say 9mm. And here's why I say 9mm, because I don't really need put down. Like the 45, Hook on the Adventures with Jim Chat, he carries a 45. That's great, man. If you got one shot to put down an elephant, I'll take the 45. But I'll take the 9mm for capacity over the 45. Just because a 9mm hollow point, you know, I'm taking that any day of the week. I can load 19 into the damn clip, you know, and you know, you're rolling. I mean, I can miss 18 times and only hit once. So yeah, I'm taking the 9mm or the 380.
Hook.
How about you?
Does Hook conceal a 45? That's a pretty big gun to conceal.
No, he doesn't conceal. He wants that thing out there. I don't know if he has concealed, but no, I think he's perfectly happy.
He open carries.
Yeah, I think so. He carries it so everyone can see, and I appreciate that from and what everyone should know, who is a newbie, maybe listening to this program, is that metal detectors are not your enemy. We're your friend. Okay? You know, we're there to do a damn hobby like a kite flyer, you know? But, you know, if we're threatened, we're going to protect the people around us. We're going to take care of business. And, you know, it's just that simple.
Right. You know, a lot of people think, oh, there's that weird guy that's in the park. You know? But that's kind of the thing you got to get. That's kind of the thing you got to get over with if you're going to get into the hobby. That some people are going to be interested in what you're doing. Some people are going to be like, "What the hell are you doing?" And it's just like I try to get a friend into the hobby. I let him use one of my detectors for a while. He went out with me for a few finds a few hunts, and you know, you can't expect, especially when you're starting out, to just go out there and find the good stuff, you know? But if you do be persistent and keep going out, you'll start finding the stuff. Like, it's there. But you know, it's just dedication, just like anything else. I mean, you will find the good stuff. You just have to have the patience.
Yeah, you're exactly right, man. I agree. Patience, persistence.
Same thing with gold. I mean, a lot of people will say, oh, I haven't found any gold yet. I'm telling you, the only way you're going to find gold, I'm not saying it's the only way you're going to find gold, but the best way to find gold is to go to a soccer field, a baseball field, a common, you know, area, a grassy area that you know a lot of people have been in, and dig every signal. And I'm telling you, you will find it. You will.
Yeah,
Cojo?
I agree, man. I'm still here, man. We're just leaving it open here. Yeah, man. I agree. Now let's get back onto the conversation of, let's talk about Popo here. What instruments do you play, man? Besides using the metal detector, we know you carry a Tesoro. Tell us about your metal detector, and tell us about the musical instruments you play too.
I play a skin flute, saxophone. The detector I use, the Tesoro. I would highly, highly recommend it. to any metal detectorist. I don't know. I guess I know a lot of people know about the Tesoros, but they may not, they're not as mainstream as maybe Garrett or Mind Lab or something like that. But every Tesoro has a lifetime warranty, which that's just one point you really can't get away from, or at least I can't with a detector, because the nature of anything made by man is that it's going to break. And if you're going to go out there and spend $500 to $1,600 maybe on a CTX, and you only have a 1 to 2 year warranty, something may not go wrong within that 1 or 2 years, but after that, if it breaks, you're pretty much fucked. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to always go American made if I can, and a lifetime warranty. I don't know. I can't beat that. Plus, the Tesoro machines are very, very simple, and most of their machines are simply by tone. They're single tone. They only have a couple of machines that actually have a visual readout, and besides that, I mean, they're just, it's not always computers and stuff that make things good. Sometimes simplicity is the best, I think.
So that's cool. We know you carry Tesoro, Joe, and now you play an instrument? I mean, do you DJ? Do you... A little bit more about you for your viewing audience.
No, not particularly. I don't play any instruments, but
What other hobbies do you enjoy other than metal detecting? And if I'm getting too personal, just say, hey, look, leave that alone, Cojo.
I mean, hobbies-wise, I was into skateboarding my whole life up to, I skateboarded for a long time. That was a major hobby that I had. And, I don't know. I like being outdoors and doing stuff like that, and that's what kind of got me into the hobby of metal detecting. Just something that's...
What's your best trick on skateboarding?
My best trick?
Yeah. Could you pull a 180 nollie? Could you pull ollie north? The front side grind, kick flip.
Yeah, I can do all of it. A lot of it,
Right.
I did like a...
Go ahead, man. This is to get your users a little bit more accustomed to who Joe, Popo Jojo is. And,
right.
Well...
I can't really say my best trick. I don't even want to put that out there like that, but I skated for a long time. We'll just put it that way.
The funny thing about...
the funny thing, I got a question for you, Cojo.
All right, go. Shoot. Ask anything of me.
Tell us a little bit.
Tell you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. How you living?
Dude, I was a skater just like you. The only difference between me and you is that we're about 15 years different in age. And I was a skater too. Man, I loved it. I skated with Ron Allen. And for all you old school skaters out there who are listening to this show, I skated with Ron Allen, Matt Hensley. Remember these names. Go back and look at that 8th Street video. Hocus Pocus. I was there when Hocus Pocus aired for the first time. I skated with Ron Allen and Matt Hensley at that video. I'm that old.
What was that, like Santa Cruz or something?
Oh, Santa Cruz? Hello, yeah. Santa Cruz, slime balls, Indy trucks. Yeah. You know, we got killed. Everywhere we went, everyone would say to us, you can't skateboard here. And now, Joe, check this out, man. Everywhere we go, the metal detect. The skaters, they're allowed to skate everywhere. And they'll say, no metal detecting. I'm like 43 years old, man. You know, come on. I'm doing an old man's hobby. I can't skate anymore. They told me no, I can't skate. Now I'm doing an old man's hobby. And now it's, you can't metal detect. It's insane, dude. You know, there's no winning for Generation X. It's
right.
fucked as hell, man. But other than that, I have a
now,
high interest
when you skated back in the day, you guys had those, they weren't double-sided boards, were they? They were like a front and back, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, but they were made that you could ollie off each end. You know, they were both attenuated to the fact that you could like nollie and ollie, you know, on the board. So it wasn't a perfect. I don't even know what they call it anymore. I'm so out of the lingo, but you know, today's boards just kind of look like a symmetrical board. Like the front end looks like the back end. Back in the day,
right,
the front end was a little bit more narrow, and that would help
yeah.
you pull off different tricks. But yeah, I mean, we dealt with a different board. Our wheels were slightly wider. Today, the wheels are very, very small, which I think is dumb. Because for street skaters, very small wheels, very dumb. That's my opinion.
Right. Small wheels will get you caught up on the rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right. Any little rock will stop you on a small wheel. But on a big fat slime ball, you can actually go over that. Yeah.
Right. So, get back on metal detecting though for a second. What are you thinking? I know we've had a good time to contemplate on where we're going to dig. I don't even like to think about that because I was planning on digging most of the winter, but obviously that hasn't been happening. So, I don't know. Have you been doing any research lately?
Oh, you're talking to me? Yes. Yes, I have.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, the only person that's talking.
Yeah, I have. You know, for the listeners of your show, you and I have both been doing a lot of research, and I think we've got a good thing going. You know, the problem with it is that for all the listeners who don't know, I don't know what you all do for a living, but for me, I mean, I'm a pool guy. I work in the summer. I work about 8 months a year, and then I have the winters off. And winters like this that snow us in, they're just tough. You know, I can't get out the way that I want to. And Joe and I have, Popo Jojo and I have really tried to get out a lot, despite. But, you know, the good thing is about being your own boss is I've got weekends off. And, you know, there's a day there I got to spend with family. And there's a day there that I can go out and do something myself. And, you know, I care about my family. I care about doing what I like. And, you know, I think there's a good amount of time here still in the spring where you and I can get out and hit those areas that we have researched, and you know what they are.
Right.
Don't you?
You know what? I mean, early spring, late winter, that's really about the time, you know? You want to be out there because you want to be in those spots when there's still low foliage but, the weather's getting a little bit better. Yeah, we were talking about this one day when we were in the woods about why do we metal detect, And I was saying it's almost like a Freudian kind of thought, like, why do people get into the hobby? It's kind of the same people who get into the hobby. It's, I don't know. It's the same type of people, does it kind of correlate that we're out there searching? Are we searching for something in our lives? Or searching for something in the world? Does that kind of make sense to you?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I mean, I think that's a great question. The next time, you take callers, I think it's a great question to bring people in and just open the night to everyone on a 1-hour show or a 30-minute show and just say, what does it mean to you? And for the listeners who are listening now, cut the crap whenever it comes to that. Let's really sum it up because, it's so impressive what it means to other people. I mean, it's incredible.
Right.
It's incredible to see. Do you not think?
I think it's bringing a joy. I mean, I like to watch a lot of new people who are on YouTube, and I just say YouTube because that's the forum that I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm being able to see, and it seems like a lot of. I mean, it's just people are very excited and interested in finding stuff. And it's like, really, what gets a lot of people into the hobby, It's like, I don't know. I feel like it could be a lot of different reasons, but it seems like it's a general type of people who get into the hobby, because you're just, we live one life. I don't want to get philosophical, but we live one life,